Good evening, everyone, and welcome to GrayManPrepping. It is time for that Tactical Tuesday where we discuss tactics, gear, and more. And tonight's topic is, what is your biggest prepping concern? How's everybody doing out there? And I just froze. So let me get over here to the comments and welcome everybody and make sure I caught everybody. And the grandsons are going bye-bye. Yay, the mom just picked them up. All right, so first in was Mark with Chef Tech. Second in was Mark with Magic Acres. Third was Walt Rogers, then Kaylin Strain, followed by Mother Earth Garden Club, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, and then Troop 1351. And it's the Marshmallow Man. Hey, Lewis. All righty, let me get things straightened away here. Oh, well, before I jump into this, got some interesting news about my prepper garden. I ordered a forget what type cod out was, a Westcott, which is a Zone 3 apricot, bare root from Home Depot. Since I had such a great experience last time, very cool to do the thing. And as I opened up the box, it's like, oh, I see greenery, yay! There's about 20 leaves at the top, and that was it. Everything else sticking off the side, they cut down to fit in the box, and the box was bent in the middle, like someone had, like they leaned up against something and somebody fell into it, or something hit, or it fell over and someone stepped on it. When I got down the rest of the way, the tree that was inside was broken in half, at about right about halfway up, where they had your main stalk coming up, and then you have your had several little graftings on it. It had the big main grafting. That's where it was broken off at. It was still attached, but it would look like it had been broken. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like it had been broken twice. Once before, and then again now. And it also looked like another one on the other side had been broken, and they cut it off. So, and that hadn't been a while ago, like several months or whatever. Hey, Utah Mike, how's it going? Anyways, I'm like, oh man, not another repeat. The last one I had from Home Depot was good. The one from Stark Brothers sucked eggs, rotten eggs. And so I actually, when I saw the case of the cardboard box crinkled a little bit, I got the camera out, had it all set up, and I was doing the whole thing. Yeah, it's good. Open it up. Oh man, this sucks. And so I ran the footage a little bit longer, and then I stopped it, took a bunch of pictures, came in, called the 800 number for Home Depot, and I got the best customer service person ever. She was absolutely amazing. Hey, Josh, Skinner Farms, welcome. Anyways, I told her exactly how I got pictures. I said, I got pictures, I got video, I can send, email, whatever you want. I send. She goes, that's okay. Don't need that. Don't need to worry about the pictures and stuff. And I explained everything that happened, and I told her about my 3 experiences. The first one I got from Home Depot was absolutely fabulous. The one I got from Stark Brothers, I'm never buying anything from Stark Brothers again. This one here was FedEx's fault for the majority of it, because it got broke in transit. And so I was talking to her and stuff, and she goes, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to refund you the purchase price. Boom, right off the bat. And she did that. Okay, now I'm going to give you a 50% discount and reorder it for you. So we went through the thing, did that, got it reordered. This cost total with tax. The one that got ruined that she refunded was $39.80, and this one turned out to be $21 and change. after, same tree, but with the discount for the problems and everything. And so, yeah, so I'm trying to save the other one. I quickly watched a couple of videos. More people rolling in here. All right, so we got Joseph Moore and Sula Dean and Suzanne Gallet. Welcome. And so I watched some videos on repairing where branches break. You got a branch coming off and it splits off a little bit more. And so I watched several videos on that. And I know my wife has some stuff for doing grafting and for repairing breaks and stuff, some goop stuff you put in. She puts it in and then she wraps it up, and it's like some growth hormones and stuff, and it does all the fun stuff for it. I didn't have any of that here. So I just did follow. I just did got the stretchy gardening tape stuff, and I wrapped it around tight, held it. Gave it a little spritz of my my special solution I use for germinating seeds, and put it on there, and see how it goes. Now Tammy at Rebel Canners emailed me and said, because we were emailing the schedule for what's coming up here in the next month or two, and she said, she replied back after I got everything done, and she goes, if you have beeswax, before you start wrapping it, when you go to put it together, put some beeswax on the outside of it and pull it together tight, so the beeswax sits just like a little itty bitty bead inside as it swishes to help keep air out, and then you wrap it up. Well, I don't have any beeswax. That's going to be something I'll probably get here up here at the at Cox's Honey. And so, yeah, so that's what my day was going around partially. If you saw any of the videos over on Camp Patton Found the Compound when I put in the big drain thing for the driveway, well, last night I was out there after it rained day before yesterday. All the rain off the front of the house ran over there, and off the driveway all ran. Got into that sand and gravel mix I had in there, and all of a sudden it started collapsing and started flushing down in around the chunks of concrete, and so which was I expected, and I just hadn't done anything with it yet. I wasn't going to jet it, but so I was out there and I started shooting some water out on it, and all started going down. Anyways, I spent this morning, and I left last night. I left the hose out there. I left it on a little bit. I wasn't supposed to. Well, it filled that entire pit up to about 18 inches from the top water level, and more stuff just started dropping in and stuff. And so this morning I was collecting buckets and buckets and buckets of cobbles and just filling in everything dropped in, because it's going to make a nice, good drain now in the wintertime. And so that's what I was doing a lot of days. So my hands are all idiot. I didn't think, I'm out there picking some stuff up, moving things around with the tractor, and it's like, as I load the bucket full of rocks, it's like the gravelly grit that's on with sand and cobblestones and stuff is really drying my hand out. And Moon Over Miami's here. $7A, the heat is on. Let me see. Look over here. What's this one on? That one is. Get to refresh that. So for the staff sergeant, today is 92. No, yeah, it was supposed to be 92 for the high today. The temperature that she actually has right now is 100 degrees. So it's 100 degrees where she's at, and that temperature is downtown Martinez, closer to the waterfront. She's farther back in, so it's probably about 105 at the house there in California. So, yeah, they got a heat advisory through what time here? Let me click on it. Through 8 p.m., which is another 3 hours for them. And then tomorrow's supposed to be 79, and it's in 70, so it goes back to 85 on Friday. we'll see whether or not she drops off. All right, so Kaylin's supposed to, I was looking at the other computer, so I got 3 computer screens going. Kaylin's supposed to be hitting 95. Oh, yeah. All righty, so tonight's topic, let's get into it. What is your biggest prepping concern? Now, something I want to make a point out to everybody here on this is your biggest prepping concern is your concern. It may not be my concern. It may not be anybody else's in the chat. It may not be your next door neighbor or the neighbor, 5 or your friend 5 blocks down, or other family members. Your concern is your concern. It's not something you have to justify to anybody, because everybody's different and everybody's a little bit more prepared in a different way than everybody else. So you have a specific concern. It's okay to have that concern. It's your concern, and it's something that's just that you're worried about. So before I go to the next one here, I'm going to kick back over here for a second. So, and thing is, all right, Jeremy just popped up with his water is his biggest concern. Water should be a big concern for everybody. My biggest concern has changed several times over, has changed several times over the years. At one point, my biggest concern was, I gotta find someone like-minded who's into preparedness and she's hot. And then I met the staff sergeant. Bing! All right, that concern taken care of and done. Woo! And things changed. And finances was it for a while, until I realized what a financial genius she was, and got our house paid off in 16 years from when I bought it. And just got us really set financially and stuff. And then we got the house up here, and now she's got that one. I think that one only has like $30,000 left on it, the one across the street. This one here has a lot left on it, but hey. All right, Mark's there. All right. So now's the time to drop something here. No, I don't. Hang on. I don't want to drop it there, because then it goes on to the what the heck, I'll drop it here. I'll just, see who comes in from the other side. Okay, so it's not posting it to my, Fakebook is blocking StreamYard again here. Had problems last night. WD Glock and Rolls here. So Jeremy at Tennessee Tactical came in. He says, what we got here? He had water was a concern. Now he also has economic collapse. Got power outages. There's that. Hang on. Let me get back here to this. And let's see.
Forgot to change my
my
picture.
Marauders, police state, finances for Utah Mike. Everyone has a lot of different ones here, and lack of good water. Extra heat was needed to help dry out the living room. Neighbors' inability to manage trash. Yeah. Come on. Change. Jump. There we go. Debt-free economy is always a problem. Yes, you may be debt-free, but you could wind up in debt if the economy takes a downturn and you don't have savings to handle things.
You're never out of debt. We're always in debt.
Yeah. Start storing more than 1 month of water in a condo. Yeah. Yeah, construction's way down in Northern California and everything else. So my stuff has changed. You know, when I was younger, it was like finding a good woman. I found the woman with stripes and a rocker on her arm, and yeah, and things as the more I learn, I realize how much more I need to learn, and my perspective changes on concerns. We got out of California. That was a concern of ours, a big concern of ours from about 2012. We started getting concerned about it. But it was like we were just going to push that one back because we both had good jobs at the time. And as we got closer to my retiring, we started looking for a place out of California because Governor Moonbeam decided to push all these tax things in and did some governor executorial bullshit, pardon my language, and changed some of the rules the way California deals with retirees. And my wife, being an accountant and doing our taxes and going through all the tax codes and stuff and everything else like she does, said, it ain't going to be healthy for us to retire in California. So we started looking at most of the states. Some of the states are right off where I've been. I go, no, we can eliminate these, and these are the reasons why. She goes, okay, I can see that. And she started hitting every place her company had an office. And she hit Phoenix. Nope. You have any problem with Glen Canyon Dam, Phoenix is going to be bone dry. Then we started talking. Then she said, well, what about Vegas? Same thing with Boulder Canyon. Any problems? It's really bad. And besides that, Las Vegas is sitting on a fault line that most people don't know about. And every time it does do a little jiggly, there's a lot of liquefaction of the soil away from the city proper. If it's big enough, it's going to come in from the desert area and it's going to shake the area and turn to liquefaction where Vegas proper is at. Okay, so Teresa Buchanan came in. Let's see what else. Being able to get out to the areas where she can practice her skills that she can't do there. Yeah, find a great spouse, because if you don't have a great spouse who's on board with you for prepping and life in general, yeah, it can be hard. And Teresa's doing supper. Worried about Minnesota winter if the city natural gas fails. Yeah, that's actually set up in the first week of October, last week of September. We're going to be doing a whole thing just on heat during the winter, because that's a concern for a lot of people every year. But yeah, and that's the thing is, having been in California and worked underground construction for a while, because my brother said, hey, when I used to work for the sheriff's department, my brother goes, hey, I got a job where you're making twice as much money and you get to play in the dirt. What boy is not going to say, twice as much money and I get to play in the dirt? I'm there. And so I was an operating engineer for a while, and I discovered so much scary crap, that some companies do to cut costs and causes problems. And one of the things we ran into a lot was the non-union companies out there trying to compete with the union companies with the skill labor force they had, generally shorted their labor force. And so when the excavator operator, the backhoe operator is digging, they don't have a spotter dedicated to him the entire time. Someone runs over, checks this stuff, runs over, does something else. Like, no. The spotter stays there with the hoe operator the entire time. Well, there'd be many times the guy's digging along and he goes, "Is something there? Oh, I just dig. There's nothing here on the plans." And he takes the next bucketful and he rips out a gas main. That happens so friggin' often. It's ridiculous. And so, yeah, I can see we're worrying about natural gas fails because a construction company is digging along and they tear something out. And then the other thing in San Francisco, with all the shakes and stuff, they check all the stuff. Hey, everything's fine. 3 years later, the storm drain that had cracked and they didn't send a camera down it. They just kind of flashed from one hole to the next catch basin. You flashed the light. Okay, it's straight. It's good. They didn't see a crack in there, and during the wintertime, water would leak out, start eroding around it, and all of a sudden it goes, and the whole street drops, and so they lose storm, sewer, water, gas, underground utilities, everything goes. So it's simple things can really screw up your winter. All right, let me go back up here. Okay. Yeah, as soon as they do that, 3 years later, oh, we need to reinstitute it. We're going to reinstitute it at 5% or 6%. Yeah. Let's see here. Said rule 2, don't lose the good wife. Yeah. All right. And a little on preppers in the house. All right. And I threw up Lee's comment there, but so Lee Cold War Preppers here. Pat Small is here. Who else is just sliding in here? Yeah. And Tibor's here. So other things where my concerns have changed. So it was a place to retire. All right, we got the place to retire at. We got a house. A couple of years later, guy across the street goes, "Hey, you want to buy my house too?" Yes, because my daughter was up there, and when I retired, I'd planned on doing a lot of work on it. Well, all of a sudden there's 4 grandkids over there, and I'm like, crap, I can't get not done on this place. Everything I was doing to fix that place up was little bitty at a time. And then when Brandon said, "For to sell us this," Chris came over, drove up, looked at it. Yes, we'll buy it. So now we have 2 houses up here, one for the staff sergeant and I, and one for my daughter and her family. And we have the ability to also house our 2 boys when they come up here. The one doesn't want to build a house. He'll just take the other bedroom over here, and that's fine with us because he helps out all the time. The other one wants to build his own house. But now as things start going, the other things that bother me with all my training and knowledge and stuff, I'm back to food again. Seeing some of the stuff that has happened with the food. Yes, we got about 5 years worth of food between the 2 houses, and dehydrated food, canned goods, dried goods, and stuff like that. But it's food production that has me bothered now, because in California, we have 2 apricots, 2 apple trees, 2 cherry trees. I don't eat cherries, so the rest of the family's happy. 4 orange trees. 3 lemon trees, a tangerine, and it's not a peach, it's not an apricot, nectarine, and a nectarine. So we had enough room there and stuff. if we had to, we could grow a lot of zucchini and a lot of other high producing crops like that to extend what we had. But yeah, we needed to get out of California. So up here, I really wanted to, the first year we bought the place over there, I wanted to put in 25 trees. And the West said, no, we're on a peak. It's going to drop. Prices are going to drop. Well, 2 years ago, I priced stuff out. She goes, no, it's going to drop. Well, this year I said, screw it. I went out and bought 10 trees. The price has gone up by 100 to 120%. So it's more than doubled on all the trees that I've gotten. The only thing that stays cheap is bare root, and that's no longer $12 a tree. Now you're looking at $40 or so. Well, the $12 a tree when we bought the place in 2016. Now it's $37, $20, to $48 a tree, depending on the variety, and for bare root. Yeah, the trees and that's what I say. They're not going to do us much good once we're both up here, which is why I said, screw it, I'm putting in trees. And I actually had to get bigger trees than what I normally would have gotten. I normally would have gotten the 5-gallon buckets, but I got 7 and 10-gallon buckets because I needed bigger trees that would start producing next year. Since the trees had fruit on them this year when I bought them, I cut all the fruit off. So it'd go to roots and do the roots. And Shawnee's in the house. Woohoo! And so, so food has been food production has been a concern. The other thing is a concern is finding more and more scientist channels and not other scientists who aren't doing channels, but these other channels are referring these to the papers these guys put out through papers and stuff. And so the whole the way the magnetosphere is getting weaker, and I can see the effects on me. I can see the effects on my wife and the kids, and of the magnetic field getting weaker and weaker. And I can see the effects of M-class M-class sunspots that have an ejection that should be nada sending up the northern lights, the auroras, down to Texas, where this should not even be seen where I'm at here up in Idaho.
All right, so back to what's your biggest prepping concern? We just went
my biggest prepping concern is right now is getting prepared for something I'd never ever considered before, and that's the weakening magnetosphere and the effect of extra radiation on us and all the things that happen when we're losing the protection, because it has dropped, dramatically over the last 150 years, and over the last 20 years, it's really starting to nosedive. So that's
why you grow some stuff inside.
Yes, I can grow stuff inside, but it's like I always wanted to have a house with a basement and a big 30 by 30. It's a basement here, off on the side, down lower, another basement I can go down to for, tornadoes and everything else and all this other fun stuff, which would be perfect for protection from the extra radiation. But was it Brazil or was it I don't think it was Argentina. It might have been Peru. Might have been one of the countries down there just had the nastiest fall cold spell, because it's fall for them down there because it's spring for us up here. you know, ever. I mean, they were getting snow in places they've never gotten snow before down there in South America. So. It's not a Geiger counter. It's one of the other ones, but yeah, one of the similar type things. Oh yeah, and they're finding out that a lot of the animals that are beaching themselves is because the North Pole, instead of being here, has moved over here, and so if you track their natural thing to line up with the North Pole where they should be normally, where it is now, that's why they're beaching themselves, because the magnetic guidance that birds and fish and whales and stuff use is pulling them, saying, hey, you need to be over here, but over there is land. Hey, Prepper 101.
That could be the sonar the ships are shooting down there too. That's spooking them off.
It's but the thing is, though, it's they're tracking it. It's not just where sonar and stuff is going at, and it's all they finally correlated to go, and they're all scientific community's going, oh shit, they're following the shifting North Pole, magnetic North Pole. And so as it moves, they're trying to move with it. And they're hitting land. I only eat vegetarian beef. Has to be grass fed.
That cow was eating your vegetables, so I ate them. You're welcome. Nice.
Oh. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. I saw that today, Kaylin. Yeah, that was kind of and this morning and yesterday's they're kind of like, holy, it's just these papers are finally saying yes, this is what it is. This is peer reviewed and it's approved, and they're finally coming to a consensus of forget what the government wants us to say. We're going to say what's true. All right, so kind of already touched on it, so everybody, so some even posting what has you worried when it comes to being prepared. All right, Mark, what has you worried about getting prepared?
My neighbors.
Current or cabin neighbors?
Cabin I'm not worried about, because they're all on their own. I mean, I've talked to most of them, not about stuff, but they know I'm working the field out right now. So they're like, well, what are you going to do there? I'm like, I want to put in some fruit trees and, maybe a greenhouse. I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool, because they don't grow. One of them doesn't grow anything. It's the woman's like 80 something. And then her son lives there. He's really cool. He's like my age. And then, but they don't grow anything. They just have like, a 3-acre lawn. I'm like, if you grew food there instead of grass, but he doesn't want to hear it. They have a little garden in the back, but I told him, I said, I'll have stuff. I said, I'll be dropping baskets on your front porch, but I'm not worried about them coming down and stealing stuff. And the other neighbor,
you give it to them, then they feel obligated and they don't feel guilty. If they got to go steal it, then they're going to feel guilty. And he's going to, if you give them stuff, Interesting thing is, Curtis, my neighbor across the street, well, not across the street to my daughter, but across the street from my daughter down there, has all the stuff he needs to build a big wall of peony. He went and bought everything because the prices keep going up on it. So he went ahead and bought everything and has it packed away. He also bought everything to make a like a greenhouse type thing, but it's not a greenhouse. It's for his he does a lot of sandblasting because he does car restorations, and we're talking, 60s, 70s, even some 50s vehicles and stuff. Total restorations on them. He does a lot of sandblasting, and so he wants someplace other than his outdoors to sandblast, where it's easy for him to reclaim all the sand and use it over several times. And he figures in 3 years he'll have totally paid for the structure, just in what he's saved on sand. But the Wallapini he's going to be putting in is the same one that I want to put in over here, but I'm not as rich as he is. Yeah. Oh. Hang on. That just reminded me something here. See if I can find it here really quick. Got to make this bigger so I can share it. You might like this one here. Some of you out there will like it. Some of you are going to go, "Arr." The staff sergeant says, a fact is information minus emotion. An opinion is information plus experience. Ignorance is lacking information and experience. Stupidity is an opinion that ignores the facts.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that?
Some people don't like hearing the truth like that. They go,
oh, well, that's
that
ignorant.
offends me. All right. All right. Hey, Lee, I tried just the opposite. People wanted me to send them some snow and cold weather. I couldn't do it. Diana Tunes here. Oh. To quote Ron White, you can't fix stupid, but you should be able to deport it.
Yeah, but duct tape is an amazing thing.
Yeah. So, yes, Tibor. Yes, another good one. What else? So, what are some of the prepping concerns you have that you are concentrating on trying to fix, people?
Gardening, growing. Well, I can garden. I'm now, fortunately for me, my wife likes a bunch of the lettuces I started growing. And she's like, I really like this one. I can't remember what it is. And she looked it up. She's like, oh, it's right here. I was like, great, give me it. So we went to Territorial Seed, and I said, you like that? She's like, oh, yeah, that's it. I said, she's like, here, you do it. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to get $80 worth of seeds plus garlic seeds coming in October. They're all shipping now. So, yep, I'll be growing lots of lettuces inside, and I don't want them to bolt, so they're going to stay nice and tender.
Yeah.
But growing food.
Yeah, chickens is one of the things that I'm trying to do. My daughter's been having problems with her new chickens. Something's been getting after them, and so I forgot to talk to her today and find out if she had the same problem last night as she did the other couple of nights of losing one or two of them here.
Throw a couple trail cams around the fence area and see what's getting in.
The thing is, all right. So the chicken shed is one of these metal garden sheds, you know.
Oh. You froze. Metal garden shed. Oh, you froze again. There you go. There you are.
Am I moving? There I'm moving.
Yep. Okay.
Good. I got it fast enough. He didn't lose the microphone.
Metal garden shed. Continue.
So metal garden shed that had the sliding doors on it. They took that out. the people that had that property before and put just a simple door in there on a hinge, and it locks tight. I mean, it locks tight. And they cut a hole in they insulated the sides. They didn't insulate the roof, but they insulated the sides and, put 2x4s sideways. So it's only an inch and a half thick, insulated a little bit with some foam board behind plywood. And they cut out a hole for the chicken. They used it for dogs to go in and out. My daughter's using it for the chickens, and she covered up that. So there's no opening to get anything of size to get in there. A garter snake might get around. We don't even have rattlers here. We have garter snakes, but the chickens pick on them. And somehow she lost two of these small sized chicken, chicks that are about 2 months old now, 3 months old.
While they're in, is she finding feathers inside? Like something inside, or just disappearing?
I didn't really talk to her much on that.
There might be they might have dug a hole under it because those metal sheds don't have a floor.
Help me! I can't remember what I'm supposed to say. Yeah.
Yeah, look around the perimeter and see if you can.
No, that's the thing. No rats around it. We so far, knock on wood, since 2016, we've not seen one rat. We have small field mice. The voles are bigger than the mice. Okay, the voles are bigger than the mice, and so voles, being a V, are vegetarian. The moles would eat meat, but they go after worms and grubs and other bugs and stuff.
A hole in here.
Yeah. Haven't seen any foxes around here. Nobody said they've seen any foxes. There are some people have seen skunks, but nobody has smelled any recently. So usually they're not around.
Raccoons will eat chickens.
I don't. I've seen possums out on the road, but not raccoons.
Possums don't eat it, but there's probably raccoons around. You just don't see them during the day. If you do, they're probably rabid.
Roaming prepper, hey. So it's the thing is the door was still locked. The front door was locked, and the side door for the chickens to get out to the run was still closed up. So, but we've had
look in the dirt under where she put the roost, where they roost there. Did she put a wood pen in there?
Concrete.
There's got to be a hole somewhere around the perimeter. If there's weeds there and grass growing up against the building, there's probably a little hole under there. It doesn't take much.
Well, the thing is, so it's the garden shed is on a concrete pad.
Well, then they're not getting all the chickens in at night. And when she goes the next day, one's gone or two's gone because they weren't in.
I don't know, but chickens is something that I want when my wife gets up here. I want to start raising some chickens of our own, and it's like that's the thing. That's another concern I have is getting the wife up here so I can go full steam on stuff up here with her here to run guidance. She's got to be here to run guidance and say, yes, that's a good idea. Tell me why you want to do that. Explain why we need to do it that way and not this way.
And she can run interference with the grandkids while you get stuff done.
No, we'll put the grandkids to work. With the two of us out there, when you have one or two grandkids, we can make them work with us.
Yeah, that works. Teach them young.
So, it's one of those things of time, and I think this actually comes down to everybody here as a major concern. It may not be the principal concern, but it should be a major concern for everybody here in the chat. Time.
Yep. Never enough time.
And the older you get, the faster time flies.
Mm-hmm. And we're not having fun. What's wrong with that?
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched Sean James up in Canada, Kaylin. I've been watching him since day one. He's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the chickens my daughter has. She has. I got to find out which ones all got hit. I know a couple of the Rhode Island red chicks got hit. All I think all or maybe all but one of the white Cornish cross suddenly had something went, and they were just.
How many roosters she got in there?
One or two.
Yeah, you might want to look into that too. They can get mean and nasty.
But the thing is, though, the roosters she has so far, or if she has any roosters, I haven't heard anything about fighting out there. Well, and they go in there all the time, and they'll pick up chickens. You know, she can go and pick up chickens, and the chickens are out running. The ones that fly over the fence and go in there, they go around picking the yard. She can pick them up and carry them in. But the new chicks, you know, the grandkids can go pick them up. But there's none of them have been fighting.
Put a trail cam inside the building. It may go off all night long, but she can at least look. If one goes missing, she can review the footage and see where it went. If she's not telling you if she found a dead body in there, you don't know if they're getting out, getting eaten and removed, or just dying in there. She didn't give you the information. You kind of need more information.
She's found a couple bodies outside. She found four of the white Cornish cross. They had bodies. They buried them. They got rid of them, disposed of them. They found bodies and feathers outside from a couple of the Rhode Island red ones. That's why she moved them all into the big pen and stuff. But they still fly. I mean, the little things. See, the big ones fly over. Oh, we can fly out of here. Cool. I'm out. And they go out and they go back to the little things that she had them in before. But it's just one of those things. Is I don't know. I really wish my wife would come up here sooner rather than later. We'd sell the house in California while the property values are still up, and you know, just put the money in the bank, and you know, start getting things that we want to get done, getting them done, so we are totally self-sufficient. But it's time. Time is a big problem. Yeah, time management. Oh, that's right. Lee's going live here in about 13 minutes. Let me pull this up over here real quick. See if he pops up in the first one here or not. Yeah, there it is. It actually came up first. All right. So, all right. So, see if I can do this right here. Doing copying and pasting for you here. And so he's going over James Rawls' book and get the link. All right, so that kicks off here at the top of the hour. There you go. That should go up there. Make sure it goes over to everybody over here. It looks like it went over to everybody over there. Yeah. Wow. Okay, someone actually beat me in there. Usually when I go over there to do that, I'm the first one there for his. All right. So 28 years in, came in too late. Came to it too late. The only time you really came to it too late is 1 minute after the event starts. Ryan the Gamer's in the house.
Yeah, that's actually a big prepping concern. What are we really prepping for? Because it could be a million different things happen. But
Yeah.
if you're basically prepared for just, having stuff, food, whatever, for a short-term thing, and maybe moving into a slightly longer-term thing, you'll be okay. And you just need to have some skills and things to go with it.
Yeah. It's like when I was working for Homeland Security, we set up for the agencies under us the base plan. And this was a basic survival plan, not listing any type of event. It was called the base plan. Now, in the base plan, there were several addendums. One was a communications plan. One was an evacuation plan. Not talk about anything specific, just an evacuation plan. And one was the COOP plan, the Continuity of Operations plan. Then we had I did 43 other tactical response plans for earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, wildfires, winter storm, just each one of those had their own. And so we started on the most likely to happen and worked our way through Mother Nature to the idiots. But the main thing was just get a base plan. And the base plan had for the offices started out originally. I tried to push one way. They pushed, the higher ups pushed back and go, no, 2 weeks is enough. 2 weeks is enough. Then after Katrina, it was like, okay, you're right, 30 days. I said, no, it's 60 days now. We realized it's supposed to be 60 days. And they went with 30 days. And I pushed for 90 days, and they finally went to 45 days. Then I realized, they're only going with half of what I recommended. The last thing before I left, I pushed for 180 days.
I think one of everybody's
they went with 3 months.
I think one of everybody's big concerns that are already semi-prepared or prepared or whatever is worrying about the unprepared, which is 90% of your community, or not community, but the world.
Yeah.
And
90%
what are you going to do
of your area?
Yep.
Well,
how are you going to act? How are you going to react?
Yeah. And here's the thing that everybody's heard it. If we have a Tawaki situation where when the grid goes down and it's down for 3 months, we could lose upwards of 50% of the population. If it's down for 6 months, we could lose upwards of 80%. And if it's down permanently in the first year, we will lose 90% of the population. Problem with that is the date of the event.
Yeah.
If the date of the event is Thanksgiving, 6 weeks later, you're gonna be at 80% of loss of life for major cities in above a certain longitude. Because they're going to be so cold, everybody's going to be freezing in the cities. They're all going to be popsicles, or as Tony Stark says, a capsicle. But let's say it happens just as we're getting into spring and everybody's thawed out and everybody can start gardening. Oh wow, you got at least 6 months to shift gears and get into that type of lifestyle for all the unprepared to start saying, teach me, what do I need to do? How do I go, get people growing and stuff where they might make it through a winter. But and that's one of the things is that most people don't realize, they don't want to talk about it. So we're going to dance around it here using code words, okay? During the winter die-off, there's going to be a lot of Donner parties all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then what comes along with that is the other things that come along with participating in that, where the version of trike causes other brain diseases.
Lots of diseases.
Yeah. All right, Joseph. See you later.
And then you have the bodies that will thaw in the spring, and the diseases that go with that, and yeah,
and then you're going to have because nobody's going to be feeding the dogs or the cats.
Nope.
And those that are dying in buildings and stuff, the rodents are going to be going into having a feast.
Yep, and the fleas and everything else.
Yep. And so that's why they said, all the documentation we had is at the end of the first year of a total grid down, gone, it's not coming back. You're looking at a 90% reduction in population. Now, it's not going to be even across the board by any stretch of the imagination. Long Island is going to be probably a 99.9% loss.
Mm-hmm. All the big cities, metro areas, out into the countryside, it'd be a little more dangerous for people to try to come out there.
Yeah. And the thing is, everything. Well, what about cities about like San Diego, Phoenix, Houston, San Antonio, where it's nice and warm, Miami? Well, you still have no power. You're going to have a lot of old people dying. People on dialysis.
You'll have gangs until they start running out of the canned goods they raided out of the super centers and the logistics centers.
The disease is going to be rampant immediately in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how deep we want to get into this? Because we can go really deep here, and I don't think we want to get that deep. We're freaking people out.
Guys, if you want us to revisit this again here in a couple weeks or so, we can do that. It's almost time to head over there. Let me quick grab the schedule up here. Mark, did you get the emails from Tammy and I?
I did it, and it's like, oh, here's your schedule. And by the way, I'm gone these weeks. I'm like, wait, what? Which one's which?
Okay. Yeah, I will send you the updated one with figuring out here.
That's fine. I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm on twice. She's like, cool.
Yeah. Maybe 3 times.
Okay. Whatever. Well, I'm on every time, but not so much with just doing my own thing.
All right. So coming up here, Thursday is the midnight ride at 10 Eastern because it's midnight down there in Rio de Janeiro. It's midnight somewhere else. And everybody was getting tired of staying up that late. So 10 o'clock for the midnight ride Eastern time. Everything else is 8 o'clock Eastern time. Friday night on the homestead on Camp Pat Family Compound. PFAS contamination in the U.S. So we're going to be going over a lot of stuff. And we'll see whether or not the platform goes, oh, you're scaring people. Saturday is fear porn. They're coming for your food.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Mark suggested that one. On Monday, we're going to be talking on Camp Pat Family Compound. We're going to be talking about canners, not canning, canners. The different types, pros and cons of different ones. So we're going to be covering a lot of the electrics, the water bathing, the pressure canning, the Instant Pot canning. We'll talk about a lot of it. Next Tuesday here, a lot of people are going to kind of show up. Pros are probably going to show up missing because it pokes at everybody here. Are you physically ready?
Nope.
The way my back has been the last couple of days, no, I've been overdoing it. Yeah. So that's what's coming up for the next week.
Start stockpiling Tylenol. Just kidding.
Tylenol don't work on me.
Tylenol works on me. Advil works on my wife. She's like, take an Advil. I'm like, doesn't work. Tylenol works. I take one Tylenol and everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're good. But I don't do it every day because it's not good for you either. So
yeah. So but I was taking the shoot. Yeah, the third one. Not
Advil?
not Advil. Not
Percocet? Just kidding.
It's one you can't take with either Tylenol or Advil. Sodium something or the sodium, whatever heck it is. It's the little blue pill.
Naproxen sodium. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that one, not the other blue pill.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right, you're killing me.
And yeah, until we found out that I was having it was bad for me. And he's live on the other side. So we're gonna slide out of here. So everyone, stay happy, stay safe, add to your preps, and we'll see you later.
Right. No after chat. We'll talk later.